So here's an idea for you to get to know all of the cards as they're separated. I've got the major arcana separated and I have the suits separated. I have swords, cups, wands, and pentacles. And I'm going to do a little reading. This is something that you can do for yourself to get a little more familiar. I'm going to start with the major arcana, and these are the ones that show the major things that are happening in our lives. So this is going to be a 5-card reading, and we're going to start out with, what is something I need to be aware of? You can keep shuffling until you feel it's time to stop. You could spread the cards out and just choose one. Whatever works for you, and change it up to experiment to see what method feels best for you, and be open to changing it up a little bit when it feels right. Don't get stuck, is what I'm saying. There's so many different ways to do things. So I'm just going to stop and pull the top card. So what's something I need to be aware of? The Empress. And I'm going to pull the minor arcana as well to get a better sense of how to dig into it. But what I'm picking up right off the bat is this card represents abundance and prosperity and doing what it takes to make things grow and happen. We've got the wheat in the front here, which, it takes time to grow wheat, but it is plentiful, as we can see. There's feminine energy. We've got heart-centered energy. We have the Venus symbol, and the comfort that this Empress is sitting on her throne, and she's got nature all around her. It's showing that flow is happening. There's lush, there's green, there's basically all of the colors of the lower chakras, which is definitely how you perceive yourself in this material world. So this card can be, hey, this is coming to you. It can be a heads up that you're not embodying that Empress energy enough, but let's consult the minor arcana to go a little deeper. So these are the swords, all of the swords from ace to king and everywhere in between. And the question I'm going to ask is, what do I need to think about? Now, I'm going to assume it's to pertain to the Empress, but let's see what comes up. What do I need to think about? There's not many cards to shuffle here. There's only 14, so it's either easier or more difficult. What do I need to think about? And we have the 8 of Swords. This is showing someone who thinks that their hands are tied and they've got the thoughts that they're thinking are keeping them stuck. So as it pertains to the Empress, it feels like this might be something that's coming up in your life as things aren't really working out the way you want them to. Things don't feel as abundant. Maybe the things you've been doing just haven't been working out. So naturally, we're going to think about all the things that went wrong because we're going to try and figure out how to make them right. But we also, when we get stuck doing that, we're not solution oriented and we're not focused on how we can improve. Okay? So now let's go to the cups and we're going to ask, how should I feel? And again, it pertains to the other cards that have come up. And once they're all pulled, it'll make a bigger story and we'll read them all together to see if there's any additional messages. What should I feel? So we have the 4 of Cups. This card often is seen as boredom or not focusing on being grateful for things. Remember, cups are about intuition and how you feel, your emotions. So what I feel is these 2 cards kind of see the negative side of things. And I feel the Empress is here showing you that these are the possibilities. But if you're constantly thinking thoughts that are keeping you stuck, your energy is going to feel that way too. Your emotions are going to fit. So you're going to be so focused on these cups that are out of reach, or the cups that are empty, or the disappointments, than you are to what the blessing is that's trying to come through. So let's move on to Wands. Wands is about action. So the question here is, what action can I take? Nine of Wands. And I have to say that this isn't an easy textbook reading either. So as far as the questions I'm asking. So what action can I take? To me, this is showing somebody who has already taken action, and they've had to pause and rest because it's been a bit of a struggle. You can see that they have a bandage on their head. They're feeling a little weary. They're looking to the past to be like, wow, that was kind of difficult. And I know I still have a little more to go. But the action to take is maybe to take a rest from struggling to push through the things that don't seem to be working out. Clearly, things aren't working out the way you want. And if you keep pushing, it's not necessarily going to give you the result that you're looking for. So time to pause, time to regroup and decide what action you need to take next. So finally, we're going to pull from the Pentacles, and it's like, how will this show up in my life? And I just created these questions. You can ask any question you want when you do this. I'm keeping it in line with what element they work with. Cups is about your physical world. Wands is about the actions you take. Cups is about the emotions, your intuition. Swords is about your thoughts, your beliefs. And the major arcana can be many different things, something that's major happening in your life. So play with it. So here we go. How will this show up in my life? We have another 4. So we've got the 4 of Pentacles. And this, again, it's like the Empress. It has good notes to it and negative notes to it. This could be somebody who has some financial stability or a stable home or work life, or it could be somebody who is spending too much time trying to control things. So something that we need to be aware of is that, yeah, like I mentioned earlier about trying to push through and control the situation as it stands. If there's been some difficulty getting to that place of success and trusting you have what it takes to have the success you're looking for. Let's take a look at these all together here. This is what you're looking for, something that makes you feel like everything you're doing is working out. You plant those seeds, they grow, you harvest, rinse and repeat. But life isn't like that. All right. This is very realistic reading. We get in our own heads about things. We need to take the time to see what beliefs and thoughts are holding us back. And we have the power to shift and change them. We also need to be aware of where our emotions are. What are we focused on feeling? Are we focused on feeling inspired by what the universe is trying to share with us, or are we focused on what's out of reach? And the actions we take. Are we taking actions that always have us feeling tired, frustrated, exhausted, and really needing to take a break? Or are we taking a break before we get to that point so we can really see that the actions we take are having a good effect in our life? And then we have the Pentacles that are showing up saying that you can have stability as long as you don't control things too much. You've got to be willing to let things go. You got to be willing to stand up and move away, whatever it takes, so you can really trust and feel that this is your natural state. This is available to all of us. All right, well, there you go. I hope you enjoyed this little mini demonstration on how you can use the suits individually so you can kind of get to know them a little bit better instead of having them all in one big pile with all 78 cards. So let me know what you think, and we'll see you in another video. Peace.